Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. I do truly appreciate it. And I want to talk to you today about a book that I read. Yeah, go figure, I read a book. But this book is called Night of the Long Knives by Tyler Jones. And I got this ARC, this advanced, uncorrected proof or advanced reader copy that looks like somebody wrote on my book. I might have done that by accident. Anyway, it'll wipe off. I think it's slick. But this advanced review copy from Earthling Publications, Paul Miller, one of my favorite people on God's green earth, was nice enough to send me this ARC. This book is available in a limited signed edition, hardcover edition from Earthling Publications. And yes, I pre-ordered. I mashed them buttons and got that book coming as soon as it's ready to come. Pre-order. It's not quite ready yet, I don't think, but it should be out very, very soon. But Night of the Long Knives. This is the second book that I've read from Tyler Jones. The first book I read from Tyler Jones was also from Earthling Publications. I've talked to you about this before. It's called Midas, and this was a Halloween series from last year, 2023, number 18. And I learned something about the Halloween series from Paul Miller's Earthling Publications. Philip Fracassi helped to teach me that lesson. Just buy it. Comes out, just buy it. Never heard of the author? Buy it. Don't know the book? Just buy it. Just buy it. And this was the third. And now the fourth one was Ian Rogers' Family. I read it. I liked it. 4 for 4. Great stories. But anyway, I read Midas by Tyler Jones. This was the only novel that I'd read of his. I liked it a lot. I think I gave it 4 stars. I think I rated it 4 stars out of 5 on that one there. But back to Night of the Long Knives. I think I've kind of figured out Tyler Jones is heavy. He's heavy, emotional. He writes these characters and he writes these stories, and at least the 2 that I've read, they're weighted with tragedy. It seems to, at least in both these books that I've read, seems to be put in, and it affects the psyche and the characters and the stories. And Midas was the same way, and so is Night of the Long Knives. And also characters that you pull for, that you want to like, even though they're having tough times. I think in this book, the main character is a more likable fellow, easy to like. But characters that you want to like, that you pull for, you want them to come through, you want them to find success and all that stuff. But Night of the Long Knives, there's a fellow by the name of Andy Ferris, and he's in advertising. He's at home working, making a video for a commercial, a video for a company. At some point in the book, it's kind of let on that he's got a secret that he hasn't even told anybody about. Hasn't told his wife about. There's just a germ early, and then that germ gets slowly fertilized or slowly grows till finally you figure out what it is in the end. But he's got something weighing on him, and he's drinking a lot. And his wife, right away, you get the feeling that his wife doesn't approve, that his wife is worried. But she's not nagging him, yada, 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 yada. She's hoping for the best, and she's kind of subtly cheering him on, hoping that he'll pull through. And again, you don't really know why, but there's a backstory to that, which comes on later on. And they have a daughter, a young daughter. And you'd think, like many of us, from the outside looking in, it looks like they got it going on. Like they got it made. They're there. They're that thing that people are striving for, trying to get to. But still there's a sadness. There's weight. There's problems. And then tragedy strikes early in this book. I don't want to go too deep into the story here. But tragedy strikes early. And Andy Ferris is... he's lost, and he's looking, and he's searching, and he ends up making these YouTube videos because he's trying to find answers to questions, trying to find out what causes the unexplainable. How do you explain it? And so he's making YouTube videos where he's kind of investigating different unexplainable situations, unexplainable things that have happened, hauntings and stuff. And he's looking for the real answers. He's not looking for somebody's making this stuff up, or somebody's a little nutty and they're imagining things, or any of that kind of stuff. He's looking for truly unexplainable stuff. And anyway, he makes videos, and he's not really making a whole lot of money on it. But then this fellow, Christopher Burke, comes to him with an offer he can't refuse, to a notorious or a noteworthy situation, one of those unexplainables. He asks for something. You do this for me, I'll do that for you. And it sets him off on a course. And what a course. Anyway, I can't get into too many of these details because there's stuff given away. But this book is weighty, and I've really found myself caring about Andy and hoping the best for this guy, hoping that he can solve his problems. But at the same time, I found myself not really looking ahead as much in the story as I was living in the now for him, his step by step by step. It was all entertaining. So a lot of times in a story, I'm just wanting to get to the thing at the end, that now. I'm wanting to get to that end. What is the solution? What is the explanation? And I found myself with this book not really so much thinking about that end. Just enjoying page by page and step by step as he stumbles or steps or walks from one situation to the next, to the next, to the next. And then finally, towards the end of the book, it's like getting on a water slide at a water park, Tampa, Florida, Adventure Island. Get your yayas and your wawas at Adventure Island. It's like he stepped on that slide and whoop, and whoosh. That's how the book kind of goes at the end. It goes from a comfortable, nice ride, very entertaining, where you're looking at the scenery and enjoying this trip, seeing things you didn't see before because you're always too busy driving, focusing on the road. Now you get a chance to kind of look around and enjoy the view. And then somebody steps on the gas and you really go down a heck of a ride. But Night of the Long Knives for Tyler Jones is a great one. It starts off as a relatively straight story. Tragedy has happened. He's investigating tragedies. He's getting to know people that have been involved in tragedies. And slowly you start to wonder, is there a supernatural element to this? Little bit of hint, little bit of hint, little bit of hint, little bit of hint. But this is a horror story. And this is ultimately a type of a supernatural horror as well. So it does fit in some pretty cool boxes. Supernatural, horror, and some other elements that I won't even tell you about right now. You can find out for yourself when you read this book. But I'm a fan of Tyler Jones. I'd read Midas and I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. But reading one book doesn't make me a fan. Reading one good book from an author doesn't necessarily make me a fan. It's just a cool thing. And after reading Night of the Long Knives, I've figured out that my vocabulary is astounding. I've got to read more from Tyler Jones. There's more to be read, and I've got more on the shelves. I've got more books that I need to read on the shelves. Let's see what I got here. Let's pull out some stuff. Hey, who's talking? Somebody's talking. I've got some more from Tyler Jones that I need to read. I've got Strider, a bit of a novella, and Heavy Oceans, a novel that I bought I think I bought that from his website. It's signed. I think it's signed. I hope it's signed. It is. It's got a nice little note directly from Tyler Jones, and I think the book herself was signed also. I like signed stuff. Signed is always better. But anyway, the book itself is signed, so that's nice. Bought a book from him. He sends me a nice little note, and it is signed. And I bought this Strider, and it came with a signed ad upside up. How does that? Right there. Signed ad from Gothic. So I got that going for me, which is nice. I don't remember if this book was flat signed or not. And now I can't even remember. I think I might have ordered it from his website too. But I got a couple more books to read from Tyler Jones, and I'm in. After reading this one, this is 2 for 2. 2 for 2 for me means I got to do more reading from this author. And I liked Night of the Long Knives better than I liked Midas. So that's nice. I said Midas was good enough to read something else with the guy. Night of the Long Knives is even better. And there's this book, one of the things I will mention, it touches a lot on historical stuff. Of course it plays with it a little bit, has fun with it, but it touches on some historical stuff, which is cool. It touches on some religious stuff, religious cults and cult leaders sort of things. Touches on that too, which is also cool. It touches on other books, that religious books, not necessarily books that were put in the Bible, but other books that are not considered canon by the typical church. The Book of Enoch, I remember, was one, and some of the stuff in there. So a lot of other cool things in here. World War II, the Nazis, Hitler is a subject that is touched upon in here. Mass murder, bombing of a building, serial killer. So there's some other cool elements in here in Andy's investigations that lead him ultimately to his final destination. I think that's a game. But Night of the Long Knives was a fabulous novel. And I'm going to read more. I've got 2 more books here on the shelf that I've got to read from Tyler Jones. And I think I'm getting to the point now where when Tyler Jones writes a book, I think I'm just going to be in. Unless he proves me wrong. But 2 for 2 for me kind of means that's a person I need to read more of. And that's where I'm going to be. So when there's more from Tyler Jones, Paul Miller from Earthling Publications, they decide to work together again, guess what? I'm going to be begging for an ARC. I'm going to be buying a limited edition version of it. Tyler gets something else coming out from somewhere else. I'm going to have to jump in. He's on the list now. You just made the list, Tyler Jones. So you got that going for you, which is nice, I guess. That means somebody buys your stuff. Can't be all that bad anyway. But great book. I strongly recommend. I'm sorry I can't tell you more about it. It is emotional. If you got family, if you've got a spouse, a husband, or a wife, some of this stuff may feel a little bit familiar to you, the relationship stuff, the feelings, the emotions. When you've got nobody to come home and answer to, life's easy. When you've got somebody that you got to come home and answer to, it puts a lot of pressure on you. When you fail, there's somebody there to watch you fail. You fail somebody, it puts a little more pressure on you. So it kind of touched on some of that stuff for me. It touched a little bit of those nerves, you know. And then the loss. I think we can all imagine loss if we haven't felt it. I think most of us have felt loss, maybe not the most severe. I think it's something we can all imagine. And the loss, it's palpable. It's real. And so 2 books. Tyler Jones is really good at making you feel that. Making it feel real to me anyway when I read. With that being said, I got a lot more lies I could tell about it, but I'm not going to do it. I don't want to spoil things. So we'll just go at that. Thank you for your time. I do truly appreciate it. Check out Night of the Long Knives. Check out Midas. Check out Tyler Jones. And check out my good friend Paul Miller at Earthling Publications. Great books, a great guy, great signed limited editions, and all sorts of cool greats going on there. C'est la vie, baby. Doo-doo.